are to comprehend the full extent of your transgressions, we must go back to the beginning. When the world was still young, we visited upon it a miracle, magic, and in its light did all life flourish. Yet the price for this boon would prove heavy. A pall descended upon the land, painting the horizon black as night. Though we labored to forestall its spread, in this one endeavor we stood powerless. And so we fled, that we might endure, that we might discover a means of salvation.
But if it was magic that caused the blight, what of the mother crystals?
I expect he'll tell us soon enough.
Salvation, alas, was not readily to be had. First, we would require a land unvisited by the stain of corruption. An unprecedented journey lay before us, one beyond the limits of our fleshly bodies. And so we cast them off. Thus, stripped to our very spirit, did we find our new paradise. A land as pure as driven snow, Valisthea. There would the true work begin, for the black crept yet behind us. And soon did we arrive at a solution. The illness having spread to every organ, there was but one escape from this fate: to start afresh.
With a new world. The one for which Barnabas labored. A paradise free from the blight where his God awaits. And where, if we only forfeit our wills and abandon everything we hold dear, humanity can join him. So, Ultima would have us follow in the footsteps of the king.
And follow we shall. For now.
To forge a new world would require not only power, but a constitution strong enough to wield it. Acquiring the first would be simple. Untouched by the blight, Valisthea was replete with ether, and we had only to place jewels in her crown to claim it. Acquiring the second, however, demanded creativity. And so I cast forth the seeds of humanity.
You created us.
Is that not what gods do? We sowed the seeds for you, Muthos, all that you might one day blossom. And our future thus secured, we thought to slumber, though that would prove a grave mistake. For it was as we slept that man committed his greatest sin. He awoke. Alone in a world bereft of his god's radiance, he stumbled blindly, desperate for guidance. Finding no light, he sought to kindle his own. And from that single errant impulse was his will born. Having discovered himself at last, man turned his eyes inward and found he desired evermore that which only magic might afford. So wars were waged and brothers slain for custody over that dwindling resource, and the land, she wept tears of black.
You would condemn us for this. Surely he cannot be so blind to his own hypocrisy.
Not blind, just unwilling to admit the truth. But we're one and the same. Is that
Ifrit, or what's left of him?
Long have our ashes lain cold for want of a spark. Cast your eyes upon them and see what you must become. Valisthea cannot endure a second claim upon her being. The avarice of man drives her ever closer to destruction. But she may yet be saved by you. It is what you were born to do, why we nursed you and fed you as your own mother should have. And now that you are fully grown, our Muthos, it is time at last for you to serve your purpose.
To right your wrongs. If our sin is wanting to survive, then you are as marked by it as we are. The fault is yours. Our wills were born because you abandoned us. And now, you would have us forfeit them. All for a place in your new paradise.
Do you imagine yourselves worthy of one? Mankind has no place in our world. Is this truly so difficult to comprehend? We only ever require you, Muthos, when the time comes to bid this wretched realm farewell. None shall follow, none shall remain.
What do you mean, none?
This is our world. Once the land's rebirth is complete, humanity will have served its purpose. Why would we continue to suffer that which has caused us so much vexation?
Because the land doesn't belong to you. It belongs to us all! What?
That is where you are mistaken. You own nothing but your precious will.
Brother.
I can't do this alone.
And you don't have to.
I grow weary of your dissent. Now you must learn that this master will not tolerate disobedience.
My friends, my family. We have all suffered, all fought to survive. This world may be flawed. It may be broken. But it's all we have. And if we can't share it, I see only one other choice. You have to go.
You may have created us, Ultima. But it's time we lived on our own terms. This isn't your world anymore. It's ours.
Bow down, offenders. Heart. Disdained. moral attaint may not be sublimed through game standing. Only with heads hung low is penance paid. O wretched mortals, incapable even of contrition, in fitting season shall we reap our harvest. Gifted this chance, and still you would raise your hand against the Lord.
What now? The darkness bends. He means to end us.
It wouldn't be the first time. But let's make it his last.
Your fate is inexorable. Surrender the vessel unto the darkness. Surrender it unto us. Kneel before us. countless generations have we awaited this moment. Your struggles have made you strong, yet your soul remains heavy with sin. Absolution is nigh. Repent, and all shall be forgiven.
Tell me, Clive, how many lives have you saved since taking my name?
Fewer than we have ruined. Wherever we go, we leave a sea of tears in our wake.
These are the wages of your will, son.
What good are our choices when all they ever bring, all they will ever bring, is death?
There's no atoning, Clive. No matter how hard you try.
So why not leave it all behind?
Leave it all behind.
Please, won't somebody save me? Won't anybody love me?
I yearn, yet still she is not mine. Have I not given enough?
From will is born desire, and it is this which consumes you, rendering you incomplete.
Do you not see how the world bends and warps under the weight of your hungering hearts?
What if it could all just go away?
Just go away.
Clive! None of this is real. Wake up. It's time to go home, Clive.
Clive.
That's right. You're my brother.
brother.
Remember who you are.
Clive.
Once more, lest you forget.
My name is Clive. Clive Rossfield.
Look.
Ultima.
Even here, the light of the vessel's will cannot be quenched. And the Phoenix, his trespass should not have been possible. Not possible unless he has been with Muthos all along. The mark of the Phoenix, emblazoned upon his heart, made manifest by the power of will alone. The power of creation. Can it be? Are their wills truly so potent?
Are you still talking?
Damn it, Clive. Wake up.
That.
Sorry to wake you, but I think it may be time to leave. This place.
Once again, does my creation stray from the path laid before it? Steeped in conceit, you fancy yourself a god. You embrace Logos. But we will put an end to this hubris.
What are you talking about?
In the halls of origin, does our true power quicken. And there shall you be made complete. Soon, Muthos, soon you will discover how little you know of suffering. And so the crystals are no more. Yet in their silence, a new song rings. Its chorus building, a crescendo as it enters its final movement, stirring those long aslumber to waking. And back to their origin.
Bloody crystal's cracked. So where the hell are they? Oh, fuck me.
Is that ether?
What in good Grieger's name is going on?
This is wrong.
Are we back?
Clive! Joshua!
Jill! Is everyone all right?
We're fine. What happened?
Too much to explain here. Mate! We're leaving! Now! Everyone, fall back to the ship!
I will be with you anon.
Thank you.
I need to tell everyone what happened at Drake's Spine. But I'm going to need Otto's help.
There's something about it.
Still alive, I see. Something tells me that eyesore on the horizon is your doing. How'd you manage that?
It's a long story. One that I'd rather only tell once.
Right. All hands on deck, then.
Is this everyone? As I'm sure you've all guessed, the crystal which now commands the eastern skies was summoned by Ultima. He called it Origin. Though the significance of that name is as yet unclear.
What does it matter what it's called? Its emergence tore Twinside asunder, and wiped my homeland from the map.
Mention of the Dominion spires can be found in the oldest of Valisthian records. But to the best of my knowledge, none provide any hint as to their true nature. That they would prove the horns of some slumbering demon. Well...
The Dominion's demise was at least quick. Elsewhere, the Republican army cannot hope to contain the chaos engulfing Randalar. Canberra is in flames, and the Empire.
Our allies are crying out for answers. I've sent the Cursebreakers to give them what assurances we can, but right now that amounts to fuck all.
They wouldn't be able to stop what the skies have started in any case. People here and across the realm grow sicker with every passing day.
Could it be that this new Mother Crystal is like the others? That it draws upon the land's ether? It certainly looked that way from stone here.
If that were true, it would explain the hastening spread of the Blight since the crystal's appearance. Would it not?
And as the land's ether slowly rises to the surface, it pools, corrupting all who cannot channel its energies. Archay above, ether floods below, and in the middle, here we languish, hopelessly entrapped.
It's all right. When we faced him at Stone here, Ultima told us his true power quickens in the halls of Origin. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to continue. If we are to stop him, we will have to find a way into the crystal.
How are we gonna manage that then? It's up in the sky. And fast as she is, the Enterprise can't fly.
It's a lot to take in, and I reckon we'd all benefit from some time to clear our heads. The answer will come to us. Don't you worry. Ain't that right, Clive?
Right. That's right.
Well, go on then. Bugger off. Same goes for you, Clive. You won't solve anything like this. Trust me. Go and get some fresh air, eh?
Thank you. Joshua seemed upset.
Trouble with your gear, or... So, will it be?
And?
Yeah. So, will it be?
And?
Clive, if you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way. Clive! Quick look. Always something in there.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Your benefactors are a generous lot. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Clive. What is it that you wish to learn? Very good.
Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be. But a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it. It won't be easy. It may take generations. Centuries of suffering. And that is if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
You can barely stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. You certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must, yes? I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are.
And what of my wings? Lest you forget, you go to stand against a god. I would not have you succumb to fatigue before the fight begins. Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for.
We are in your debt, Dion.
We can speak of debts when this is over.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. And has come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to. Does it, Clive?
Time to talk to Jill. I only hope she understands.
Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
I'll be waiting.
It's almost time. Better make sure I haven't forgotten anything. What is it? Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
Huh.
Thank you, Uncle.
As for down here... Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes, but such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, but I do know
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No.
Ah, Clive. This is it then, brother. Indeed.
You're wrong.
Of course.
Joshua, what's wrong?
I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will? How and where?
In the crypt, beneath Aftercook, and in the process of doing so, they found that...
I'm surprised anything survived done.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience.
Of course, I want to know.
Very well.
You won't find a finer array this side of the strait. You're welcome anytime.
Do you see that too?
What is it? Please. Just... Stop. I'm scared.
Run like the wind.
well be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want...
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal. Oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying region, but I hadn't thought the corruption had reached... It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he need...
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
Here to help me pack? Thanks.
You're really going to go through with this, then?
I am. But before I go, there is one small issue I'd like your assistance with. Well, two, in fact.
If it's within my power to help you, I will.
It's the children. I refuse to let them share in my disgrace. And if I leave them here, they surely will. Our friendship would see them ostracized forever. But I can't take them with me either. I can think of only one place where they are certain to be safe, and provided for, and loved. The Hideaway.
Of course. The children will be more...
Thank you, Clive.
Lubor!
What is it, Ferda? You look pale.
There's been a flood in the Velcroy, a damn big one. The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged in ether.
What?
Every last one of the bastards has turned. And they're headed this way.
Bandits are one thing, but Akashic bandits are quite another. The town guard won't stand a chance against them. We need to evacuate. There's no time to lose. Ferda, gather the men. The Akashic may strike at any moment. We must make ready to cover the townspeople's escape. Well, what are you waiting for?
Yes, my lord.
Clive, change of plan. The children stay with me for now. I need you to find Conrad and Natalie. Tell them to prepare for a full and immediate evacuation.
Understood.
I'll do what I can to convince everyone else. Wish me luck. You have to listen to me. They're coming. To evacuate.
Know your place, bearer.
Why do they always have to make such...
Ah, it's you.
What do you want, Lord Underhill?
To pass on an important message. There's been an ether flood out in the Velcroy. The camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathering has been swallowed. They're no longer just bandits. They're Akashic now, and they could be here at any moment. You need to begin preparing for a full-scale evacuation right away.
Oh, do we? And who was it who gave you this disturbing news, might I ask?
Luke, you may believe his lies, my lord, but we know better.
But why would he lie about something like this?
Some twisted attempt at revenge, perhaps. If he had not been unmasked, he may well have been elected our leader. A great honor for one of his kind. One he might well feel aggrieved at having been denied.
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but it has become all too evident where your sympathies lie. Lubor cannot be trusted, and neither, therefore, can you.
You may not trust me, but for the sake of your people, ask if there is any chance that this is true.
There isn't. You can be certain of that. Now be off with you.
You're making a mistake.
Come, Clive. If our words will not move them, then we must find another way to help save the town.
Right. Let's speak to Lord Ferda.
How long do you have to listen to Akashic arrive, do you think?
There are no...
We need to evacuate.
You lied about being one of us?
I think we'd better shut up shop.
What's Lubor raving about now?
Lord Furder.
Sid, what's wrong?
I went to warn Conrad and Natalie about the Akashic, but they wouldn't listen. They've convinced themselves that nothing Lubor says can be trusted.
The bloody fools.
Which means the town guard can't be counted on for support. But I can. If there's anything I can do to help you defend Dalamil, you only have to ask.
I appreciate it.
Sid! Further! I've been looking for you everywhere.
Victor? I thought you'd left.
I couldn't abandon a friend in need. And Lubor is in need at this very moment. Come quickly.
You have to believe me! The Akashic are coming! They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't tire, and they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There won't be no parley, no mercy granted! We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe me. If you do not run, you will die. You will all fucking die!
You'd like that, wouldn't you, bearer?
Yeah, with us out of the way, your kind will be free to claim Dalamil for yourselves.
It's you who should run!
Run, bearer!
Yeah, run!
Run!
Far away!
Run!
Just go on, bearer!
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes! Go!
Go on then.
Go on! Go! Just go!
Lubor. Wait. Someone's coming.
Go. Come on!
Stop! You're hurting him! What did Lubor ever do to you? He solves all your stupid problems, and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad?
And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that?
Whose men make sure the streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty?
Who spends all day, every day making sure things run smoothly round here? And none of you ever say thank you. Ever.
But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling?
He keeps this whole place going. And you act like it doesn't even exist.
Lubor, we've heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
We won't run, but we will fight.
All right, then. Fine. Gather round if you don't want to die.
Allow me to explain the situation. The ether flood occurred near the village of Cheratina, deep in the Velcroy. The place had been abandoned for years, until the League of Outlaws decided to make it their base of operations. Now they're all turned, and if the scouts' reports are correct, heading in this direction.
They are mindless monsters, driven only by hate and rage. And they are utterly unpredictable. With the bandits, we at least knew how and where they were likely to attack. When these creatures come, Dalamil will have the bitterest fight it has ever faced on its hands. The town guard will muster at the north gate. The rest of us will take the south. Both forces will provide men to serve as scouts and messengers, ready to spread word of the size and nature of the Akashic force as soon as it is spotted. And as soon as it has been, we will converge on its position and see that it is driven back from Dalamil at all costs. Conrad, can I count on the support of the town guard?
Always.
I leave the selection and coordination of the messengers in your hands, Victor. And the command of our men in yours, Ferda. If you would both be so kind.
Consider...
As you...
And... Where? I would... Let's... now.
Looks like everyone's ready. I'd better not keep them waiting.
Come, everyone, to the bathhouse.
Lubor was telling the truth.
I may not be a soldier, but I can fight.
Will we be safe in the bathhouse? Should we not run while we have the chance?
Anyone who can't fight, come inside the bathhouse. There's plenty of room.
Come on.
There it is. The flood.
But what's waiting for us inside? We can't leave a single one alive. The League is disbanded. I should get back to Dalimil and see how the others fared.
All the Akashic we were able to find, seems that might be the
last of them hit.
Lubo, Sir Clive has returned.
Clive!
It's done.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Thank you, my lord.
Friends, the Horde has been driven back, and we need not fear the arrival of any more. Victory is...
We bloody... Lubo. Allow me, after all you have done for this...
But we did. We only hope that you can...
We need you, Lubo. So, if you would still like to be considered for the position of mayor...
You do remember that I'm a bearer, don't
we? Do. But that is not a stain. It is a stain on ours. We thought only of what we perceived bearers to be, not what you truly are.
I see. But I will only accept your proposal on 2 conditions.
Name?
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally. If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept my leadership, it will be doomed from... Unity is the key to defend...
Of course.
And... You will accept the mistreatment of bearers must end here, and any bearer within our walls shall be afforded the same right. They will not be judged by what they are.
As we failed to do, and came so close to losing.
We agree to your conditions. And we have only one in return. That you continue to work for the good of Dalimil.
As condition accepted. Well then, it seems my mayorship is all but confirmed. How fickle fate can be. Not so long ago, I had resigned myself to leaving Dalimil in disgrace. And now, here.
Lubo, about the children.
Fear not. You are, of course, relieved of your responsibility. I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than I'll make sure that...
I don't doubt that you will. And not just the children.
I'll do. Can't have all your hard work going to...
I was right.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill. who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides, those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Lord Marquis.
What is it?
One of our brethren. He sent
Was
no, and but for
but Ash is a bit.
perhaps make it live if
Right.
you are go.
If this new faith really is an offshoot of the Circle of Malleus, then...
Let's concentrate on finding the third chair first, shall we?
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty.
My lady, perhaps you could... What exactly is the gift you...
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be...
Indeed it has. Our father often...
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Alas, he did not live. And he had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts were...
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles. Not these, but with his grace long since gone. And the stone left unclaimed. You are grown men now. And his house. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more.
Thank you.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady.
Oh, I am much...
Do you know where we...
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening, it is found in the bellies of elder griffins. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's wake.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, your grace. In answer to your unspoken... In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since... Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield?
What say you, Joe?
What else? Titan's Wake.
Good girl.
Faster!
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is.
For House Rossfield.
Fuck. We needed that. That's better.
Over here!
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Godotha will know.
Griffin.
No.
Yes, is that your fault?
Lady.
Thank you. If you would excuse me, I shall... The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet. And the graven vines encircling the stone.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside. Enemies who would thwart his vision.
And only if we stood together. as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, but this was more than just it was a promise.
Thank you for remaining the steadfast.
Forgive me, my lady. There is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her, even if the armbands were incomplete. She would surely not. So...
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intention, of the deep love he had for both of you. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry. I tried to warn your father, but it was when word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands
and thanked the Founder you'd...
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone, and so my pursuit continued. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father...
As do I.
Thank you, my lord, for coming back to us.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the...
It is. And we thank you for the part.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's let him see that you have received his blessing.
I suppose it would be churlish not. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. Since the day we recovered it, I prithee claim it. For it to... And I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hand.
Thank you, sir. Come on, Clive.
Ready, go? Faster!
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies? That I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me,
He was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Ambrosia won't help me here.
Let's go. Run like the wind.
Oh. I can walk from here. Quentin.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of goat. Go on, then. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything?
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. The people of Lostwing are my family. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, We'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that.
Then what are you? That only we are worse? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us. We could... Who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring... I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat...
So you'll join us? Field Marshal Havel will want to speak. I can arrange for...
That would be... I hear the rope.
My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
A fortress?
The garrison is threatening to pull their sentries from the markets.
I would speak with this Duke.
Saw the captain just now. Your town needs you.
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizen's watch to fill. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep easier.
Of course.
Thank you. Philippe told...
Where can I find...
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small... I wish to speak to you about what my...
Very well. I trust you'll forgive...
Absolutely.
Please.
As you know, indeed, for continuing to argue against his reckless plans. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed. He must be made to face the consequences.
And who?
I would. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden and dispossessed. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people. He's always been like this. Scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him. By all possible means.
Fight him? No. My purpose is to quell the tension in Northreach, not to stoke it. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. Your father and his followers included. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother you no longer. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But unfortunately for us, that spirit is only likely to harden the Duke's resolve, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. Not that she cares. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry, where were we? Ah, yes. I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans for the town watch, but perhaps it's better that you heard them from him. I believe he's in the market, if you'd be so kind as to seek him out.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you. I'd like to see the two of you in action together.
Your town needs you.
What does the dame have to say about it?
So you are content to abandon the people? Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep...
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garret. Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your...
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter.
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the dame to join her in
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right, as always. In fact, we've had some reports, you see. Sightings of, you know what.
They're back.
Seems that way. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you...
Right.
What? You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them...
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the others.
Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
Bahamut!
Call that...
Clive! It's me! Are you all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. The thralls have returned. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, that's the what. We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other, but from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople, stirring up ill feeling towards her father. But she'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? This is exactly what the Dane was afraid of. I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town screaming blue murder.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Grieger wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight... It is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted!
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla! Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Branded.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griega.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direct...
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured, should any...
Thank you, Millet.
I'll play my... You still want... I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds, Philippe. Can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the...
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get... What about you?
I'll make my way up the road. I've fought a few of these things.
All right.
Thank you.
You can thank us.
Till then, man.
Merciful creature.
Good girl.
Faster!
There are so many of them.
Not for long. It's only just begun.
Well done, come on!
That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted.
As did his Radiance said it himself. I forgot that.
I'm sorry too. I should never have only want how I...
Do not blame yourself, my dear. I should have...
But I believe the same could be said of we all want safety, secure, and we may yet achieve. Will you join? Thank you. Now that and today...
Madam Isabel is a rare... In these, I see that it is not men like me who should lead.
You're right.
Forgive me for saying so, milady. But you still do. The dame said it herself. We can turn things around, and that goes for you. You're one of us now.
One of you.
Well said, Captain.
Well, since there's nothing, I should see if Isabel needs any...
Can we get you anything?
I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
How goes the treatment of... Abia? Tell me, but for you.
Very well. I was Carla then. Courtesan, so sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my... Alas, those halcyon days were not to love. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard. The gentlest. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me, and so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, until we found ourselves here. It was the Vale that took us in, that fed us. Those that could be healed, at least.
He passed away.
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace. It was the greatest gift I have ever. But the generosity of this town and her people did not. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief, though I was still a stranger to them. And so I swore that I would always, that I would return the kind, that I would repay my...
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like, perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot. Never stop fighting, and I shan't. I know that it will not be the people, the soul, all you know. And what of you? Can we count on your support?
Always. Uncle, the field Rutherford is... They will await your return there.
One other?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he asked if I might have a solution. And I suggested a certain
one of your...
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his.
Another outlaw? Just the thing we need to put these rotten... Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you...
The more than...
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still have...
Oh, don't you? The 7 high houses we'll be seeing. They have all agreed to make the most... Oh, of course, it did take a little, but luckily I had some...
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward, Rockford, from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased, she had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new... And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush. Now, join us there at your earliest...
Of course, Uncle.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is...
Well, that's certainly 8
Says the man with a belly bigger than a bandit. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fools.
If perhaps I might suggest an Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the... but I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you...
And what kind of company are you expecting him to keep the man...
Criminal? How? How? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this... Fine.
Upstanding. He calls himself Sid...
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the throne. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm and to do that, we must convince those in power. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves. The fate of the world lies in my nephew, but the well-being of her people lies in ours.
Uncle Byron.
Now, for what great moment in history... Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Tri-Unity. Rutherford, my quill! Well, my boy.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask, we shall play our parts to the best of our abilities. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. I want you to keep this.
I will.
What do you think that thing
There's something about it.
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always got its only right.
You are too... Alas, what I ask of you is rather more I spoke with Hippocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another... But perhaps it is best that...
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book...
I've been charged with locating...
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the Executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the But
what drives them?
A fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the Executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting?
Not from thin air, no. Rumors of the executors are rife among, but rather less so across the strait. I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which, alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. But, though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were...
Very well. I'll be sure to...
The skies.
Say what you will,